Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Miranda-Roza, an online vocal coach dedicated to helping you unlock the power of your voice in a safe, comfortable, and inspiring way. Here we dive into vocal health, answer common questions singers ask, and explore tips to keep your voice strong and healthy. Singing high notes without strain requires proper technique and vocal health as well as practice. Warming up your voice is essential for protecting your vocal cords and ensuring optimal performance. Just like any other music group, your vocal folds/cords need time and gentle preparation before being used for extended periods of singing. A good vocal warm-up increases the blood flow in your vocal muscles and relaxes the articulators, which is your jaw, tongue, and your lips. And it helps set your voice up for a smooth, controlled sound. Why warming up is important? Number one is it prepares the vocal cord. Now, the vocal cords are delicate structures that vibrate to produce sound. A proper warm-up gets them ready for the demands of singing by gently stretching and lubricating them, reducing the risk of strain or injury. Number two is it increases blood flow. Just like warming up before a workout, a vocal warm-up increases blood circulation to the vocal muscles, enhancing their flexibility and responsiveness. Number three is it improves range and flexibility. A warm-up, especially one that includes exercises like sirens, lip trills, it helps you expand your vocal range and improve the fluidity of transitions between different pitches. We then have number four, which is it prevents tension. A good vocal warm-up releases any tension in the jaw, tongue, and throat, as well as the vocal folds. This allows you to sing more freely without straining or tightening your voice up. Then we have number five, it boosts confidence. Warming up builds a mental connection to your voice, helping you feel more confident and prepared for a performance or a practice session. How to warm up your voice? Start with gentle sirens. Sirens are sliding glides from low to high pitches and vice versa. These help gently stretch the vocal folds and engage the full vocal range. They also promote smooth transitions between registers like chest voice and head voice. Now, how you would do this is you start at a low pitch and smoothly glide to the highest note you can reach, then back down. Use an open sound like ng or oo for a smoother tone. We then have lip trills, and some like to call them lip bubbles. Lip trills engage the vocal cords and help establish breath support. So the buzzing sound helps you focus on a steady airflow without strain. Now, how you would do this is you blow air through your relaxed lips, creating a brr sound. You slide through your range from low to high notes to warm up your vocal folds and encourage relaxed vibrations. We then can incorporate some scales, which is a great way to warm up your chords in a broader form, because then you warm up every individual note in your range, and you can use the lip bubbles or trills, however you would like to call them. You can add the sirens into this as well. It all just depends on how you're feeling. It is always good to experiment, but cautiously. Singing scales is a great way to gradually build control and range. So you'll start a simple major or minor scale on a vowel sound, siren, or glide, with a sound like ah or e as well, if you're going to do the vowels, of course, and work your way up in pitch. Now, how you would do this is you sing a scale slowly, focusing on each and every note while maintaining a steady and smooth sound. You then gradually increase your pitch as you progress through the scale, ensuring that you don't skip over any notes, which is why usually we would use a piano to guide you. You then start low and gradually ascend. It is always good to begin your warm-up with a lower pitch and gradually increase the range, because this allows the vocal cords to loosen up and stretch gently without sudden strain. It's important to go at your own pace and listen to your body as you warm up. It is then also important to focus on breathing. Proper breath support is extremely essential throughout absolutely everything in singing, because proper breath support, it basically promotes vocal health. As you warm up, you pay close attention to your breath, making sure it's coming from your diaphragm and not your chest, as this provides the energy needed to sing with control and consistency. Now, using vowel sounds, singing on vowels like a, e, u, or a helps open the vocal tract and engage the resonance chambers. Keep it gentle. Never force your voice during a vocal warm-up, because the goal is to gradually ease your voice into action. Do not push it too hard, too quickly. The most important factor, aside from using your diaphragm, is drinking water before and during a warm-up session, because it keeps your vocal folds hydrated, which is key for optimal vocal health. Now, the benefits of warming up is that it prevents vocal strain, it improves vocal performance, and it helps with stamina. Now, with preventing vocal strain, proper warm-up helps prevent overexertion or damage to the vocal cords, especially during extended singing or high-intensity performances. It improves performance because a well-warmed-up voice is more flexible and agile and able to produce a clearer, more resonant sound. How does this help with stamina? Well, by preparing the vocal cords and respiratory system, warm-ups can improve your vocal endurance during long singing sessions. This is extremely important for singing high notes. Engage that diaphragm. The diaphragm is a large muscle located below your lungs. To engage it, focus on breathing deeply into your belly rather than just filling your chest with air. How you would do this is place one hand on your ribs on the side and one hand on your tummy. And then you would breathe deeply through your nose, and you will expand your abdomen outward while keeping your chest relatively still, but your ribs need to go outward. So you would fill your tummy like you're blowing in a balloon, but you make your tummy grow. I don't know if you can see this, but basically it should look and feel like that. And then you feel the ribs expand slightly, but your chest doesn't come out. This action engages the diaphragm, which helps control your breath during singing. Now, breathe deep and steady. Before reaching those high notes, take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs fully. Ensure the air is flowing into your lower lungs, which, to get the image correct and to do it properly, is to actually fill your belly. So you fill it. But you don't want your chest to go. You want your ribs to sort of expand this way so that the air is more here than it is up here, because then it creates too much pressure. And I apologize for knocking the mic. Ensure the air is flowing into your lower lungs and not the upper chest, as that will, it's almost as if it forces the air out. So as you exhale, you'll release the air slowly and steadily without rushing all the air out, which is why you don't want the air to just sit up here. You want it down there, because that is a little bit more of a comfortable feel. It is weird in the beginning, but you do get used to it. This creates a continuous controlled airflow that supports the high note that you are singing. You also, which is very important, want to maintain a relaxed throat, because high notes can be intimidating, but it's essential to avoid holding tension in your throat. Tension here will restrict airflow and cause strain, making it harder to hit high notes without discomfort. Now, how would you avoid this? Is by keeping an open throat. What is that? So if you are to make a yawn, pretending obviously, because hopefully we're not tired and we don't want to yawn, but you pretend you're yawning, and now that space that is created inside your throat and the shape that your mouth creates is considered open throat. So imagine your sound traveling out through the top of your head, basically, rather than pushing from your throat. Keep your tongue relaxed and your jaw loose as you sing higher pitches as well. Now, what you want to have as well is slow, controlled exhalation. When singing high notes, use your diaphragm to release the air slowly and evenly, which is difficult if you haven't been practicing, rather than pushing with your throat, because this really causes a lot of tension. But by controlling exhalation through your diaphragm, it prevents overexerting your vocal cords and helps maintain vocal clarity. How to practice this? Inhale deeply using your diaphragm, and as you sing the high notes, try to control the release of your air. Don't let your breath run out too quickly. Try your best to keep it steady. Now, how you would do this, which I wasn't told until I asked, is you breathe how I told you you should breathe. So we inhale and we fill our belly, and then we're going to support from the bottom up. So you'll then support, obviously not as intensely, but I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. So you will support from the bottom up to get your air to sort of like push it up so that it's not all sitting here ready to run. It's down here, and you are able to use your diaphragm to sort of guide the air up. So when a vocal coach will tell you to support, they're talking about this. Support from here, not here. Practice breath control with high notes. Begin practicing with simple breathing exercises to build up breath control. For example, practice sustaining a high note while focusing on being steady and having an even breath flow. So you can sing a scale, but focus on maintaining consistent airflow throughout. As you approach higher notes, be mindful of how you manage the breath. And if you struggle to do this on your own, I hope you have a vocal coach. If not, you can book a lesson with me and I can happily guide you. But if it's something you're struggling with, do go to your vocal coach and ask them to help you with it. Tips for singing high notes without strain. Do not push. Avoid using force or tension in your chest or throat to reach high notes. High notes should feel supported but not forced, because if it's not supported and you feeling forced, you are then creating tension. You might not feel it immediately, but it's gonna catch you eventually. You do, which is very important for any singing, is you do want your body to be relaxed. So you need the rest of your body to be relaxed, especially your shoulders and your neck. Any tension here can travel up to your throat and vocal cords, which then restrict your range quite a bit. Now you want to here use your head voice and your mixed voice. A lot of us only thought that there was head voice or chest voice. A lot of vocal coaches only teach head voice and chest voice, or at least they only emphasize on it. Mixed voice is a bit of a tricky and weird thing for some people, but this is something that you do want to work on. For example, with higher notes, you engage head voice, which is a lighter resonant sound in the upper part of your vocal range. Or your mixed voice will be a blend of chest and head voice. These techniques allow for smoother transitions. Teachers usually label it as a transition rather than mixed voice. So if you're hearing mixed voice for the first time, it's like, whoa. But it is basically just you learning that switch between your head and chest voice to get into a higher note or going back down to a lower note without strain. So incorporating these techniques into your warm-up and singing practice, you will then be able to access high notes more easily and sustain them without discomfort, which is extremely important. Maintaining good posture when singing high notes is essential for producing clear, powerful sound without straining your voice. Your posture directly affects your breathing, airflow, and vocal cord functionality, which are critical for reaching and sustaining higher notes. Posture is very important and good for optimal airflow and breath support. Proper posture allows for efficient airflow as you sing. When you stand or sit upright with a relaxed, open chest and shoulders, your diaphragm has more room to expand and contract. This enables you to take deep, steady breaths, which are crucial for supporting high notes. When your posture is slouched or misaligned, the diaphragm is compressed, and you may find it harder to take full breaths or control your airflow. Increased vocal projection, an open chest, and relaxed shoulders create a more open space in your vocal tract, allowing your voice to resonate more freely. This promotes clearer sound production and better vocal projection, particularly for higher pitches. Slouching or tensing your body can and will restrict your throat, mouth, reducing resonance and making it harder to project your voice without tension or strain. It reduces tension because good posture helps keep the body relaxed, which is essential for producing a smooth, strain-free sound. When you have good alignment, your muscles are more likely to remain relaxed, especially in your throat, neck, and jaw. Tension in these areas are directly affected by your vocal cords, making it harder to reach higher notes and sustain them. So by standing tall and relaxing, you minimize unnecessary muscle tension that could interfere with vocal production. It supports vocal cord function as well. When you maintain proper posture, your vocal cords can function optimally. When you maintain proper posture, your vocal cords can function optimally. Poor posture can cause you to compress your throat or tighten your larynx, which restricts the freedom of your vocal cords. With poor alignment, your vocal cords are in the best position to vibrate freely, which is essential for producing high notes clearly and without strain. It improves overall vocal technique as well. Standing or sitting with proper posture contributes better overall vocal technique. You're able to engage the correct muscles, diaphragm, intercostal muscles, and etc., and use your air support effectively, making it easier to sing high notes with ease and control. Good posture also helps maintain a consistent sound, ensuring that you don't inadvertently push or strain your voice when trying to hit higher notes. How you would maintain a good posture is by standing tall. So imagine a string pulling through your head upwards and elongating your spine. This helps align your body for optimal breathing and good sound production. Keep your feet about shoulder width apart. Provide a stable base. Relax your shoulders. Avoid tensing your shoulders up towards your ears. Instead, let them relax downward and slightly back, opening your chest. This helps maintain a wide open throat. Tension in the shoulders carry up the neck and throat, constricting the airflow and, of course, causing strain. Now you want to align your neck and your head, so keep your head aligned with your spine, avoiding tilting it forward, backward, or to the sides. This helps your airways open and your vocal cords in an ideal position for sound production. So imagine a straight line from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Engage that core and your abdominal muscles to provide support for your breath. This will help you manage airflow, sustain high notes without relying on force from your throat. Maintain an open chest. Keeping your chest open allows your lungs and diaphragm to expand fully, which in turn supports your breath control. Avoid collapsing your chest inward, as this can compress your breathing and create unnecessary tension. So incorporating proper posture into your singing practice will make it easier to reach and sustain high notes without strain. Think of a yawn. The sensation of yawning naturally opens up your throat and creates a space for the air to pass through. When you yawn, your throat muscles relax and your vocal tract opens up. How do you do it? Before you sing, try mimicking the feeling of a yawn. Open your mouth wide and feel your throat and tongue muscles relaxing. This is the sensation you're aiming for when singing, especially during high notes. Avoid squeezing or tightening. When reaching for higher notes, it can be tempting to squeeze or tighten your throat in an attempt to force the sound out. This only leads to tension, which can strain your vocal cords and hinder your performance. Instead, focus on relaxing your throat and keeping it open as you sing, letting sound flow naturally. Keep your jaw and tongue relaxed. The jaw and tongue play a crucial role in keeping your throat open. A tense jaw or tongue can contribute to a closed throat, which limits the ability to produce free and resonant sound. How you do this is by relaxing your jaw and allow your tongue to rest comfortably in your mouth. Avoid pushing your tongue to the roof of your mouth or constricting it back into your throat. Use your breath. Proper breath support helps keep your throat open as you breathe deeply and engage your diaphragm. You breathe naturally and it flows through your open throat, reducing tension and helping you maintain control over your voice. How you do this is you practice taking deep breaths into your abdomen, expanding your diaphragm. This creates a steady airflow that supports your sound without straining your throat. Visualize an open space. Imagining a wide open space in your throat can help you achieve the sensation of openness. Picture the area around your vocal cords as relaxed and spacious, allowing your voice to pass through easily. Some singers like to imagine their voice traveling through a tube or funnel with plenty of space for the sound to resonate. By focusing on keeping your throat open, you'll find it easier to hit and sustain high notes without straining, ensuring a more beautiful and resonant sound. Relaxing your jaw and tongue when singing high notes is essential for producing a clear, resonant, and strain-free sound. Tension in these areas can create significant obstacles to smooth, efficient vocal production, especially in higher registers. Tension in these areas can create significant obstacles to smooth, efficient vocal production, especially in higher registers. Why it's important to relax your jaw and tongue when singing high notes is because it prevents vocal strain. Now, tension in the jaw and tongue can cause unnecessary strain in your vocal cord. When the muscles in the jaw and tongue are tight, it can restrict airflow, which leads to overcompensation in the throat. This then results in a forced, tense sound and can make it much more difficult to reach high notes comfortably. A relaxed jaw and tongue allow the vocal cords to function properly without excessive tension, which reduces the risk of vocal damage or fatigue. It helps maintain an open throat, so when your jaw and tongue are tense, they contribute to a closed throat, which limits the space in the vocal tract. This then makes it harder to produce a clear, resonant sound and can reduce your ability to project your voice, particularly on high notes. So keeping your jaw loose and your tongue relaxed, it helps create more space in your throat, promoting a more open vocal tract, which allows your voice to resonate and project a lot easier. So it also ensures smooth transition. High notes often require smooth transitions between different registers, such as from chest voice to head voice. If your jaw or tongue is tight, these transitions become more difficult and you may experience a break or a fluctuation in your pitch. Relaxing your jaw and tongue helps for a more seamless connection between your lower and higher registers, making it easier to navigate through your range without strain. It improves resonance and tone quality as well. The jaw and tongue play a significant role in shaping the sound as it travels through the tract. If they are tense or held in an unnatural position, they can block sound or create unwanted resonance issues. So relaxing these areas allows your voice to resonate more freely in your mouth and head, producing a clearer, more vibrant sound that is essential for hitting the high notes with clarity. It maximizes breath support too, so proper breath support is crucial for singing high notes, and tension in the jaw or tongue can interfere with your breathing because of the tightness in the tongue or jaw, as it restricts the movement of the airflow through to the vocal tracts making it harder to maintain steady airflow while singing. When your jaw and tongue are relaxed, your breath can flow freely, which provides the necessary air support for singing high notes without strain. It promotes relaxation in your body as well. Tension in the jaw and tongue often reflects tension elsewhere in the body, particularly your neck, shoulders, and throat. So by relaxing the jaw and tongue, you help the rest of your body remain loose and relaxed as well, which is very essential for vocal production. So a relaxed body allows for a freer voice, meaning you can sing higher pitches with less effort and more control. Now, how you would relax your jaw and tongue when you sing high notes is your jaw relaxation techniques. So you'll gently open and close your mouth a few times, allowing your jaw to relax naturally. This helps to release any tightness in the jaw. Gentle massages to the muscles around your jaw and cheeks also release the tension. So you will use your fingertips to lightly press and move around in circular motions around the jaw joint to relax it and all the muscles around. When you sing consciously, allow your jaw to hang loosely instead of clenching. Imagine the feeling of letting your lower jaw relax downward, like when you yawn or sigh. So it's a very natural, comfortable that you do. It's not tension filled. Tongue relaxation techniques. Gently extend your tongue in circular motions as you were cleaning your teeth. So basically it would look like this. And then reverse. Try touch your tongue to different parts of your lips, teeth, and the roof of your mouth. Practice rolling your tongue in circular motions helps relax the tongue muscles and relieve any tension that's built up. As you sing, pay attention to the position of your tongue. It should be relaxed and resting gently on the bottom of your mouth rather than pressing against the roof of your mouth or your teeth. So avoid holding it stiffly in any position. And then we have posture awareness. Often, tension in the jaw and tongue can be exacerbated by poor posture. So ensure that your posture is upright but also relaxed, with your shoulders back and your head aligned. This helps prevent any unnecessary tension traveling into the jaw or tongue. Then we have breathing exercises as well. So combine jaw and tongue relaxation with deep breathing exercises to ensure that you are engaging your diaphragm. So proper breath support allows more efficient vocal production and can help the jaw and tongue relax as you're singing. So practice with open vowels. Singing with open vowels like e, or oo encourages a relaxed jaw and tongue. Focus on singing these vowels while keeping your jaw loose and your tongue soft, allowing the sound to flow freely. So to relax your jaw and tongue, try techniques such as gentle jaw movements, tongue stretching, and mindful relaxation while focusing on proper posture. And breath support as well. This will help you sing high notes more comfortably and with a better vocal health. Shifting to head voice when singing high notes is crucial for clear, resonant sound without straining your voice. This transition allows your vocal cords to function more efficiently and helps you reach higher pitches with ease. Why do I need to shift to my head voice when singing high notes? Well, it prevents vocal strain for one. So when singing high notes in chest voice, your vocal cords are stretched and compressed more intensely, which can lead to strain or even vocal damage. The chest voice is powerful, but it is not designed to handle the higher frequencies without pushing or straining. Whereas head voice provides a more relaxed and efficient way to access high notes, allowing your vocal cords to vibrate with less tension and force. So it reduces the risk of injury and it maintains good vocal health as well. So optimal vocal cord engagement is also a good factor. When you shift to head voice, your vocal cords become thinner and more stretched to accommodate these higher pitches, but they still come together efficiently for proper sound production. This is different from chest voice because the vocal cords are thicker and more compressed in chest voice, so the head voice relies more on the thin edges of the vocal folds, which vibrate faster and more freely at higher frequencies. This results in a lighter and more clear resonant sound that is well suited for higher pitches. So better resonance and projection is also the reason to go to your head voice, as head voice resonates primarily in the upper head, particularly your sinus and the mask area in front of your face. This produces a more focused and projected sound that cuts through the air and can be heard more clearly in higher pitches. So if you try this in chest voice and you stay in your chest voice when going higher, the resonance tends to drop into your throat, resulting in a muffled or unsupported sound, where the head voice helps you amplify the sound in the right places, making it both more powerful and more pure. Smooth transitions between registers is important. When you shift to head voice, you're transitioning from chest, which is more grounded and powerful, to a higher, lighter register. This smooth transition between registers is called a mixed voice, when blending both chest and head voice. If done correctly, however, this transition can be seamless, allowing you to move between lower and higher notes without noticeable breaks or gaps in sound. This is especially useful for songs that require a wide vocal range or seamless high notes. It increases your vocal range, believe it or not, so shifting to head voice enables you to access a wider range. The head voice is specifically designed to produce higher pitches without strain, which allows you to sing notes above your normal chest voice range. Without using head voice, you could be limited to a smaller range, as chest voice cannot comfortably handle the higher pitches. Less breath pressure. So when you transition to your head voice, your body naturally requires less breath pressure than when singing in chest voice. This allows for a more controlled and steady airflow, which is key to sustaining high notes without running out of air or causing tension in the vocal cords. So using your chest voice to reach high notes often leads to pushing air too forcefully, which results in strain and fatigue. Head voice helps alleviate this pressure by relying on more of a light, efficient breath support. Now, how do I shift to head voice for high notes? One thing that is good for this is practicing your sirens, and you have heard me mention this before if you've watched my other videos, of course. Sirens are excellent exercises to practice shifting between the chest and head voice, as sirens are smooth glides from low to high notes, and obviously vice versa. By practicing sirens, you can explore the connection between chest and head voice and learn to transition smoothly between the two. How to do this? Start on a low pitch in your chest. Gradually slide to a higher pitch, moving to your head voice, making sure the transition is smooth and effortless. Then slide back down from the head voice to the chest. You can also use scales. So singing scales is another great way to practice shifting between chest and head voice. Start singing scales in chest voice, and as you approach the higher notes, begin to shift to head voice. How do I do this? So, sing a major scale starting from a comfortable note in your chest voice, then gradually transition to head voice, and as you reach the higher notes, focus on keeping the sound consistent and without a noticeable break. Lighten your approach to high notes. When you approach high notes, think of them as lighter and less effort than chest voice. Think freely. Avoid forcing the sound out. Aim for a more relaxed and open sound that resonates through your head. Imagine singing through your sinuses or the top of your head to help direct your sound and make this transition smoother. Experiment with your mixed voice. A mixed voice combines chest and head voice, allowing you to sing high notes with more power and control. To find your mix, start by singing in your chest and gradually introduce head voice to the blend of the two registers. Try singing in the middle of your range. Gently mix chest and head voice. This helps you maintain strength in your higher notes without pushing or straining. Another good thing to focus on is relaxation, which is important for all around singing. Relaxation is key for head voice singing as well. Focus on keeping your tongue, your jaw, and your throat relaxed to allow the high notes to come out effortlessly. Tension in these areas can block the sound and make it harder to access your head voice. So take deep breaths and allow your vocal cords to stretch naturally without overexerting them. So shift effortlessly into head voice. Practice techniques like sirens, scales, and transitioning into your mixed voice. Focus on relaxation, breath support, and keeping your vocal cords free from tension to make that shift smoother and, most importantly, more natural. Modifying vowels for high notes is an important technique for managing tension and improving resonance when singing in the upper end of your vocal range. The shape and position of your mouth, tongue, and vocal cords can significantly affect how easily and clearly you can sing high notes. By adjusting certain vowels and the way that you produce them, you can achieve a more comfortable and resonant sound without straining your voice. Why modifying my vowels are so important when I sing high notes? Because it avoids strain, and this is your main focus, to avoid and get rid of all strain, because high notes can be difficult to reach the vowels when you're singing because of them being too wide or open. Wide vowels like a or a can create excess tension in your vocal cords and throat, making it harder to sing higher notes and pitches comfortably. So modifying the vowels into more narrow shapes helps reduce strain by creating more space in your vocal tract and allowing the sound to resonate much more easily. It increases resonance. The goal of modifying vowels is to allow the sound to resonate more efficiently, especially in your head and sinus cavities where high notes naturally vibrate. Narrow vowels like E and U help direct the resonance to these areas, enhancing your projection and your clarity. It facilitates smooth transition. So when you reach higher notes, your vocal cords need to stretch and adjust. So narrowing these vowels creates space in the mouth and throat, allowing for smoother transition from chest voice to head voice or falsetto. This particularly is helpful for singers who experience breaks or cracks between registers. It also improves vocal cord connection. So singing with modified vowels helps your vocal cords connect more fully as you reach for high notes. So narrowing the vowels encourages a more efficient vocal fold closure, which means less air escapes and more sound is produced. How to modify vowels from high notes. So a vowel, for example, E and U, help with high note production because they encourage a more forced and efficient sound. When singing these vowels, the tongue naturally moves toward the higher position in the mouth and the lips may narrow slightly. For example, instead of singing ah on a high note, try singing E. This slight modification can make the high notes feel easier and more resonant. Using E and U for high notes, the E vowel naturally places your tongue toward the roof of your mouth, creating a space in the back of your throat, which helps alleviate tension when reaching high notes. The U vowel also narrows the vocal tract and encourages a more forward placement of sound, which helps with clarity and projection in higher registers. Here's a fun tip. Focus on maintaining even, relaxed airflow as you sing these vowels to avoid unnecessary strain. Experimenting with slight vowel modifications. It's not something dramatic, so you don't need to dramatically change the vowels you're singing. Sometimes it's just a slight modification, a different way of pronouncing it. it's enough to make a high note feel comfortable and open. For instance, instead of singing a pure ah, modify it slightly with an ah sound. So, as in cup, for more ease in the high register. For example, if you struggle with ah, try shaping it into a more neutral ah sound or even an oo sound on the higher notes to reduce tension and make that note more open. The lip and tongue position plays a role as well, so the way you shape your mouth can also help modify vowels. For example, when singing the oo vowel, lightly round your lips to focus on the sound in your sinus cavity, where it resonates more easily for you. So when singing E, keep the lips tightly spread but also relaxed, and pulling the corners of your mouth too wide is not a good thing, so you need to avoid that because that then adds tension. So vowel modification for smooth transitions between chest voice and head voice or falsetto is adjusting your vowel that can help ease the process. For example, as you move from chest voice to head voice, modify the vowel slightly so that you avoid a sudden change in quality. An example is if you're singing in chest voice and you feel tension rising as you approach a high note, switch the vowel from ah to or e to help the transition feel smoother and more relaxed. Now, when you are singing words, the ah to the sound might be a better choice than the e because the word might not exactly make sense after that. But anyway, when you're just practicing, you can use basically any. For a more open and comfortable sound in the higher range, modify the ah to an sound or an ah sound. This can reduce strain and create a more spacious feel in your mouth. This can reduce strain and create more space in your mouth. For example, instead of singing ah on a high note, try singing ah or ah with a relaxed tongue and an open throat. Now we have the A vowel, as in day. This can be quite wide and may cause tension in the higher registers. So modifying that to an E can ease the sound and help reduce any strain in the upper notes. So for example, instead of singing A, try switching to E because it smooths the higher note out. The vowel is more open as well, which may feel strained on the high note too, so modify it rather to an oo sound because that helps narrow the mouth and tongue position, allowing for a more comfortable high note. So instead of singing ah, switch to oo because it makes the high note feel easier and it'll help it resonate a lot more. You can also modify wide vowels slightly to create more of an efficient sound, add more feeling, as well as a different effect. It can help create better placement for high notes, especially for those who tend to feel constriction when singing in the upper range. So practice finding vowel shapes that work best for your voice to achieve a balanced, clear sound across your whole vocal range. Don't force the sound when singing high notes because it's essential for the principle of maintaining vocal health. By ensuring that your high notes are both clear and sustainable, forcing your voice to reach these high notes can lead to vocal strain and tension, even long-term damage to the vocal cords. The key to reaching high notes without forcing them is a proper technique, which involves resonance, breath support, and relaxed approach to vocal production. Why you should focus on not forcing the sound when singing high notes is because forcing your voice to hit high notes can stretch the cords beyond their capacity, causing unnecessary tension and fatigue over time. This can lead to vocal strain, nodules, or other injuries. The vocal cords are delicate and pushing them to sing higher notes without proper technique will definitely damage and tear them. It's important to understand that your vocal cords have their limitations, and forcing them to exceed these limits can lead to lasting consequences that none of us want. Healthy singing comes from a relaxed body, throat, open vocal tract, and properly support your breath. Forcing the sound bypasses natural processes, leading to discomfort and eventual burnout. So, to sing high notes well, you need to balance breath support with correct vocal cord closure, placement, and resonance. Forcing the sound takes away your control over this balance, resulting in an inefficient use of air and increased pressure on the vocal folds. When you force your voice to stretch high notes, you risk producing a strained, shaky sound rather than clear, resonant high notes, which is your aim. Pushing for higher pitches typically leads to tightness in your throat and loss of resonance, making your voice sound muffled or breathy. Instead of forcing, focus on placement, which helps your voice resonate naturally in the correct resonating cavities, the sinuses and the mask in the front of the face. This helps create a more focused and controlled sound. Forcing high notes often leads to inconsistent sound quality, causing you to lose control of pitch or tone. Over time, it can result in fatigue and poor vocal endurance. Learning how to sing high notes without force allows you to gain better control over your voice. With proper technique, you'll be able to hit high notes consistently without risk of damage and still maintain the clarity and projection of your sound. By avoiding force and focusing on proper placement and relaxation, you can sing high notes effortlessly and keep your voice healthy. Using scales and sirens is a highly efficient technique for singing high notes with ease and control. Both exercises help you gradually build flexibility, strength, and coordination in your voice, particularly when navigating the upper range. When using scales and sirens, it helps with high notes because it improves flexibility. Scales and sirens help to warm up your voice and improve flexibility needed for smooth transitions between the registers. Practicing these exercises, you teach your voice more fluidity between the low and the high notes, making it easier to reach higher pitches without tension or strain. It builds control. Ascending scales gradually move you into higher notes, which helps you develop more control over your breath support and vocal coordination. As you sing higher notes, you need to use your diaphragm, of course, to provide that consistent airflow, which prevents your voice from feeling forced when reaching the upper range. Sirens, which involve a smooth glide from low to high notes, teaches you how to transition seamlessly between the chest, mix, and head voice, ultimately giving you better control over your entire range. It prevents tension and strain as well. So using scales and sirens allows you to gradually ease into higher notes. By sliding through your range, you can avoid the sharp shift from the chest to the head voice. That can sometimes cause strain and tension in the throat. The smoothness of sirens trains your voice to make these transitions as seamless as possible. It increases the range and the vocal strength. Both exercises help extend your vocal range by gradually working you up to higher notes. It increases the ability to hit higher pitches with power and accuracy. They also strengthen the muscles that support your vocal cords, improving vocal stamina and pitch control over time. With incorporating sirens and scales into your routine, it adds immense benefits. After practicing sirens to loosen your voice and build flexibility, you can follow up with scales to improve the accuracy of your pitch and control. Start with easy scales in a comfortable range and gradually challenge yourself higher. So do about a 5-note scale, then follow it with a siren to smoothly transition into the high notes. This combination will help both strengthen and coordinate your voice for optimal high note performance. Alternate between the scales and the sirens because you can alternate between singing scales and practicing sirens during your warm-up. This allows you to work on both accuracy in your scales and smooth vocal transitions in your sirens. So if you sing a scale from low to high and back down, immediately follow it with a siren glide. You can create your own type of a vocal exercise doing this. This helps your voice stay flexible and it readies it to handle both controlled pitch and smooth range transitions. Engaging your core while singing high notes is essential for producing a strong controlled sound without straining your throat, of course. When you engage your core, which is the muscles in your abdomen and lower torso, you create stable foundation for your voice. The abdominal muscles help regulate airflow and provide a consistent breath support, reducing the pressure on your throat. If you rely solely on your throat or vocal cords to hit the high note, it can lead to tension and strain, which can definitely damage your vocal health over time. So power from the whole body comes in. Your voice is not just produced by vocal cords, but by a combination of airflow, breath support, and resonance. When you engage your core, you allow the air to flow efficiently through your vocal cords, creating a more powerful and controlled sound. This also helps with sustaining the note and hitting those high pitches without forcing that sound out. You also get better breath control. So engaging your core helps with better breath management when your diaphragm is engaged. When you have controlled airflow, which is vital for holding those high notes, it allows you to release air steadily and maintain that note, preventing cracking or going flat. So overall, using your core as support for singing high notes not only ensures better vocal health and more power, but it also gives you consistent high register singing. Practicing falsetto is an effective way to access and strengthen your higher vocal registers, which is essential for singing high notes. Falsetto is a lighter, airy tone. Falsetto is a vocal register that produces a lighter, more beautiful, breathy sound, often used to reach pitches that are higher than your normal speaking or chest voice range. This tone is created by vibrating only the thin edges of your vocal cords rather than the full length of them, which makes the sound airier and lighter. Since falsetto is less demanding on the vocal cords, it allows you to sing high notes without strain. It's great to begin exploring higher ranges without putting too much pressure on your voice. So training your voice for higher registers by regularly using falsetto and practicing falsetto, you gradually train your voice to handle higher pitches more comfortably. Falsetto helps loosen and stretch vocal cords, which makes it easier for you to navigate the transition between chest voice and head voice. This practice allows your body to adjust to the higher pitches in a safe way, giving you the flexibility to explore that upper range without forcing the notes. So strengthening your head voice over time, practicing with falsetto can embrace and enhance your head voice, which is another register used for higher notes. The head voice is fuller, more resonant sounding compared to falsetto, and it connects better with your chest voice. So by working on falsetto, you can improve your overall control in the upper range, and as you become more comfortable with the higher notes, you'll learn to strengthen your head voice, which allows for more smoother transitions between registers and greater vocal range. This is extremely important, to be hydrated and to rest, because it is good for your health and effective singing, especially when it comes to hitting those high notes. The vocal cords need to be well hydrated to function properly in any situation, because when you're well hydrated, the mucous membranes around the vocal cords remain lubricated. This allows them to vibrate freely and smoothly. This helps reduce friction and strain, making it easier to produce a clear sound. Resonant tones, even in your higher register. Without proper hydration, your vocal cords can become dry and stiff. That increases the risk of irritation, hoarseness, and vocal fatigue, making it much harder to reach higher notes effectively and safely. So drink plenty of water throughout the day, not just during practice, because it ensures that your voice remains flexible and ready to sing at its best. Don't, however, drown yourself in water when you're singing. You can drink a bit more when you're done, but when you're busy warming your vocal cords, you do not want to drink too much in one go. Rather sip a little bit every now and then when you get the chance, because just like any muscle, your vocal cord needs rest after a challenging practice or performance, because overusing your voice, especially during intense singing when you're pushing to hit that high note, it'll lead to vocal strain and injury. So resting allows your vocal cords to recover and rebuild itself, ensuring that you stay strong and resilient. Taking breaks during long practice sessions or avoiding excessive speaking or singing afterward helps prevent vocal fatigue, which can make it more difficult to sing those high notes accurately and powerfully. Another important thing is to gradually train, because training gradually when singing high notes is crucial for building strength, control, and endurance in your voice without risking injury. It expands your range slowly to avoid overstraining. Your vocal cords are delicate, and pushing them too quickly or too forcefully can lead to strain, vocal damage, and fatigue. So gradually expanding your vocal range allows you to stretch your voice in a safe, controlled manner. Because when you practice high notes slowly and progressively, you give your vocal cords time to adjust and strengthen. Because jumping straight into the high notes without preparation can strain the vocal muscles and cause discomfort, hoarseness, or even long-term damage. So by expanding your range over time and being patient, you ensure that each note is supported properly, and you can build the necessary muscle memory to sing these high notes with absolute ease. Then you can sing in your sleep. So work with a vocal coach to ensure proper technique. A vocal coach can guide you in using the correct technique, which is vital for safely accessing high notes. Without proper technique, you may inadvertently use incorrect muscle engagement, force, and breath support, which can damage the voice. A coach will help you develop good posture, breath control, and proper vocal cord coordination, all of which are key to singing high notes without strain. With their guidance, you can learn how to transition smoothly between registers like chest voice and head voice, and use your body to support these high notes, rather than relying solely on vocal cords. Proper technique ensures that you're singing healthily and sustainably, preventing bad habits that could impede your progress or even harm your voice. A strong mental approach is just as important as physical technique when it comes to singing high notes. Replace fear with confidence. Fear and anxiety can cause tension in the body, especially in the throat, which makes it more difficult to sing high notes. When you approach high notes with fear, your muscles may tighten and your voice could become strained or shaky. Instead of worrying about hitting the note, focus on that confidence. Trust that your voice can handle the high notes if you use proper technique and support. Confidence reduces unnecessary tension as well, in case you didn't know. So allowing your vocal cords to freely vibrate, and naturally as well, by practicing regularly and gradually expanding your range, you'll build that confidence in your ability to sing high notes without fear or doubt. So visualize yourself hitting those notes effortlessly. Visualization is powerful. It is a tool that many performers use. So before attempting the high note, mentally picture yourself singing it effortlessly. Imagine the note flowing smoothly with ease. This mental imagery can help reduce that anxiety and primes your mind and body to achieve the desired result. Because by visualizing success, you trick that mind of yours into believing that hitting high notes is natural and achievable. This positive mindset not only reduces fear, but also helps create muscle memory for those high notes, making it easier to access them during actual performance or practice. Now remember, as a singer, patience and kindness towards yourself is key. Great things take time, effort, and consistent practice. Trust the process and know that every step forward, no matter how small the progress may be, Confidence is essential. Believe in your voice and abilities, but always stay humble. Arrogance can hinder your growth, while patience allows you to evolve at your own pace. Be kind to yourself, stay confident, and enjoy the journey of becoming the best version of your musical self. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips and advice on singing and vocal health. If you're ready to take your voice to the next level, I do offer online vocal lessons, and don't forget to check out my vocal health course. It is perfect for strengthening and caring for the cords. You'll find all the details and links in the description below. I would love to be a part of your vocal journey.